Hey guys, it's Chrissy again. I know it's been a long time since I recorded the last video, but while I was gone, I experienced the most amazing feeling that any woman could experience. I had a baby, so that's why I'm here to talk about my journey because I know a lot of women, especially a lot of people in general, have been asking me like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you were pregnant, and what happened?" Blah blah blah. So I'm here to be open about it and stuff. So I have a planned phase because I'm gonna try and knock out two or three videos today because it's really hard, having a baby and she deserves all my attention, especially us being here together at home while my husband's at work. So yeah, I'm trying to knock it out today. So you can see I got some faux locks in my hair today. Well, I had it in for like a good almost a week now. I think it's been a week. So I really love it. I really love it. And it didn't take long. It took about 4 or 5 hours, and I'll do a tutorial on that as well. But I really love them, and they fit my face really well. Okay, so let's talk about my pregnancy journey. Okay, so back in February, I found out I was in February. I found out I was pregnant. The week of, I made an African dish, and and from that, I started getting diarrhea really bad, and I was cramping really bad. So I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, whatever. So it was going on a whole week. So like Wednesday, I told my mom because she's a nurse, and she was like, "Well, you need to go to the doctor and see what's going on, or whatever." So I was like, "Okay, whatever." Doctors always tell you something, whatever. So Friday, I was going to go. Well, I did go to see what was wrong because it was just really hurt, and I was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" So I got there, but then I was like, "Oh my God, I gotta go to work. I'm gonna be late, and I don't like being late for work if I don't have a reason to be late." I mean, yeah, I had a reason, but some inside me just said, just go to work, whatever." So I went back to work, and I just maintained the pain because it was crucial. Like I was just severely cramping, whatever, and I was on my period, so I knew that wasn't it. And yeah, I was just experiencing pain and diarrhea. So I thought it was because I didn't cook the food correctly, but I don't know. I guess that wasn't it either. So Friday came, and Friday is here, sorry. And my husband said, well, he was my boyfriend at the time. He said that, I should go take a pregnancy test or whatever because you haven't had your period in a while. And yes, he does track that. So, kudos to him because it's here 1 minute, it's gone. So it's like I just don't keep track of it. So he keeps track of it, whatever. So he realized I wasn't on it, and I was like, okay, no, I'm not taking a pregnancy test because maybe it's just not here at this time or whatever because like I said, I don't keep track of it. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take the test. So I went to Walmart, bought it, and I waited for him to come because I didn't want to take it by myself because he would have walked in and saw me passed out if anything was, not what I was expecting. So it was cool, the mood was real sad. We just calmed ourselves down because it was a really anxious moment because okay, this is like a pregnancy test right now. So so I peed on the stick or whatnot, and we just waited. We left in the bathroom, waited. So we're just talking, what if I am, what if I'm not, whatever. So it was a really emotional topic because we both weren't ready or whatever, but we knew that we wanted to have a child because I've always wanted to have a child. He always wanted to have a child, and this would have been a really life changing, but a really rewarding experience for both of us if we were to find out I was pregnant. So 30 minutes later, he came back and he jokes around a lot. So I thought he was just joking, but come to find out I was pregnant. And I passed out on the floor because I was just like, oh my God, how am I tell my mom? How am I going to tell my family? How am I going to tell my friends? Like, it was just like all these emotions just coming like out of nowhere or whatever. But, in the end of the day, it's something that God has given us women the ability to do and create. That's how we are made or whatnot. So we didn't tell anybody for a long time, for like the first 2 months or so, because that's the crucial time of a pregnancy because anything can happen, and you don't want to announce it and something happens, and that's more that type of you just being real cautious about the first trimester. So we went to get an ultrasound, confirmed that was well, excuse me, before that we went to the health center, the Baltimore Washington Health Women's Health Center, to confirm it or whatever, because it was just a pregnancy. I mean, they could, my level could have been high at the time, but it was official. I was pregnant, and yeah, so I went to the ultrasound and I was 7 weeks. So I was kind of paranoid. So I was like, oh my God, like I haven't been eating right. I mean, I was eating right, but I knew I wasn't doing whatever, to keep myself healthy, to make sure the baby was okay. But she was told, well, it at the time was fine or whatever. So we just had to do, we talked about it. We said we're gonna, keep it, excuse me. And we just did what we had to do. I ate healthier. I kept my stress level down, and I was in school at this. I'm still in grad school, and you know, I just maintained. Like I still didn't tell anybody because I wasn't ready to, because people talk and people make pregnancy the most negative thing in the world. Like, oh my God, it's really tiring, or you're gonna be pain, whatever. I just didn't want to hear that at the time because I know how I am. Like I like to listen to people, but sometimes I take things to heart and I'll be like, oh well, that's gonna happen to me, whatever. So I was like, I don't want to hear that right now. So 18 weeks we found out we were having a girl, yay! So we named her Madeline because I thought it'd be nice because this is his first child and his name's Maddie. So I was like, okay, well, I want her to be his junior or whatever. And so we called her Madeline, short for baby Maddie. So it worked out perfectly. And his mom has two boys, his brother has two boys, so they needed a girl in there. So we went ahead just do that girl in there. So, but overall, it was okay. I threw up a lot. It was certain things I just couldn't eat, hot dogs, ribs. I couldn't eat that anymore, so I just threw it up. Um, yeah, it was just certain things I just couldn't eat, and it made me sick. So like sometimes I'll be driving and then I'll stop on the side of the road to throw up, or throw up in my car, at home, anywhere, parking lots. If I had to go, I had to go. Like one time I threw up so bad I peed on myself at the mall, and it was really embarrassing. But it's part of it. Like I'm pretty sure people have experienced worse, and I'm thankful that I didn't have a complicated pregnancy because when good things happen to people, negative things come with it. And I know the devil, he was giving me all these negative thoughts like, oh my gosh, you're gonna lose your baby, or you're gonna have a stillborn, or people gonna talk about you. It's like that. So with that fear in my mind, I just continued to keep it to myself. I never made it known on social networks or anything because I couldn't take the feeling of all this thoughts that was in my head. It was kind of like having fear, but I guess it was kind of protecting my own or whatever, because I feel like if you post all that stuff online, you're gonna get likes, people are gonna congratulate you, but at the end of the day, the same people that are liking and commenting on your stuff, are they gonna help you raise your baby? Are they gonna provide for your baby? So it just like I was just protecting my own and just taking it easy because I didn't want my stress level to get high, and whatever you feel the baby feels. So I just kept it low key, whatever. But eventually we told our friends and we told our family, like family outside of that, because we knew we wanted them to come to our baby shower. So we eventually had to tell them or whatnot. So they're really excited. So just know everybody was excited. Like our parents were very excited. Our siblings were excited. Make us excited because we're bringing in a child. Like bringing in life itself is just a beautiful thing. And because he's white, I'm black, and it was just like just bringing everything together. It just made everything feel wonderful and beautiful at the moment. So yeah, throughout the pregnancy, I exercised. I drank tons of water. I took my prenatals. I stayed away from, you know, partying, and of course, you can't go to the club when you're pregnant. So that's ratchet. Please don't do that. Don't do that. So well, I did go once, but it was early on, so nothing happened, thank God. But don't do that. It's just stay away from it. Just stay away from smoking. People that smoke, not you smoking, I don't smoke, but just people that smoke or whatever, and just stay away from negative people because, like I said, people, everybody's journey in life, whatever it is, it's different. So they can sit there and say, oh, well, this happened to me, so it's gonna happen to you, or you want to experience this. Like, I was told I'm gonna get fat. I was told I couldn't eat certain things. I was told I need to get epidural. I was told that I was gonna have a boy. I was told that I was gonna have swollen feet. I was gonna have a swollen face. I was told everything that comes with whatever you search on Google pertaining to pregnancy. I was told that, and I never experienced any of that. And I'm so thankful and I'm blessed because, like I said, I take things to heart. So it's like, oh gosh, that's really gonna happen to me. And Lord, God forbid, nothing did. I don't have a swollen face. I never had swollen fingers, no swollen feet. I never gained. The most I've gained overall was, I'm gonna say, 20 pounds, 25 pounds. I start before I was pregnant, or at the beginning of my pregnancy, I was 125, and by the time I delivered, I was 144. So between there, because most of it is baby weight, and then the baby itself. So overall, that's how much I gained, and I lost it right after I had birth. So back to the birthing, whatever. The week we had two due dates. One was the October 21st and October 24th. The 21st was from my ultrasound, and the other one was from my last cycle. So the 21st came, and I was sitting there. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the day. Like, what is going to happen? I'm like, am I going to scream or cry? Like, what's going to happen? So, me and my mom went to the mall, and we're just walking around. They say walking is really good, which it is, because it'll help to let the baby drop, and it keeps you healthy. So, went to the mall, and I started having these side cramps or whatever, and my mom, she's real paranoid and stuff, so she was like, well, it's time for you to go to the hospital, you never know and stuff. So I went to the hospital, and I wasn't even dilated. I was only 1 centimeter, and my body wasn't doing anything. So I was told to walk, walk, and then come back, came back, nothing happened. So I was really discouraged, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm ready. I wasn't over my pregnancy. Like, a lot of people are usually over their pregnancy, but I was just so ready for her to come. Like, I just kept looking at her clothes and everything that she had. Like, everybody, like, people that bought her stuff, like, at her baby shower, like, we truly thank you all so much. Like, she has everything she needs and more. Just thank you guys for so she wasn't here, so I just like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on? Is she really stillborn, or is my body just not cooperating right now? As it said on the ultrasound, it said the 21st, and she wasn't here. So I cried, and my husband, he kept me encouraged, and he was like, everything's gonna be fine. She'll be here. So 22nd came, not here. 23rd came, still not here. 24th came, and I was like, okay, if she's not here, something's just really not right, whatever. So, but unfortunately, I lost a friend on that day, and that put me into deep depression, because he was really nice. He was one of my frat brothers. He was like a cousin, because all Africans are cousins by some way or another. So when I found out he died, like, it just took an emotional toll, because my nana, she had just died, and I went to her viewing of the body that Saturday, so that was already emotional. So I couldn't handle going to the funeral, but the viewing the body was just enough, especially me being like 9 months pregnant. But when he died, I was really emotional, because he was young, just got married the year before, and I keep his wife and his family in prayer. So it just made me think, like, wow, like, life is crazy. So I was just laying there and just thinking about just everything, like, wow, like, oh well, it is what it is. It was just one of those things you have to just tell yourself, just be calm and just take it for what it is. So the night before, while I was sleeping, I was having these pains in my sleep. So I thought I was just dreaming, and that I was just, something was going on in my dream that I was feeling physically, but I was really feeling pain. But I was so tired, I just slept through it, and I just woke up the next morning. And this is the night of the 24th, so this was in the a.m. morning time. So I woke up, and come to find out, my mucus plug was in the toilet when I used the bathroom, and I was like, wow, okay, that's one sign she's still not here. I don't feel contractions. My water hasn't broken. So, but later on that night, after I was in my deep depression mode and I went to sleep, well, oh, excuse me, while I was on the couch, I was feeling those pains again. So I was just sitting there like, oh my God, it hurts, it hurts. But I was just like, okay, I'm not crying, I'm not whining. I'm just like, ah. So I was just like, okay, this is it. I mean, this is okay. It's not but okay. So when I went upstairs to go to sleep, I started feeling it again. And we decided to count them and time them. And it was the real thing. So we got up, put our clothes on, went to the hospital, got admitted, put me in the triage room. They checked me. I was 4 centimeters. I was like, my body's moving. So so yeah, so come to find out, all the delivery rooms were full. So I had to deliver my baby in a triage room. That small room I had to deliver my baby in. So, but it was okay. I was in the most at first I wasn't in that much pain because as I was dilating, the contractions were coming, but I don't know. Instead of me screaming, I counted them. So what's I didn't count. I just counted the time. So when the contractions come, say this is a contractions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I counted them to keep my mind off the pain. So one thing I learned is just to keep your mind off the pain and you won't feel it. You'll feel it, of course, because it's there, but you won't hurt as much as if you were thinking about it. So I just counted them, and every time the stronger they got, I just got louder. Like at first I was like 1, 2, but then as I started getting, I was like 1, 2, 3. So I didn't do all that anything, like no, it was just calm. I had to tell myself. But I'll tell you one thing: when I was like 8 centimeters or whatnot, I cried for the epidural because they were just hurting so bad. I was like, "Where's the epidural?" But I knew from the beginning I did not want it. I didn't want to, take that because I feel like we as women, we were created to make babies. So I wanted to feel the full experience of childbirth, and I did. I was like, I was 8 centimeters, and I said it. The doctors were looking at me like, "Is she sure she wants to epidural?" But I just left them alone. I said, "No, I don't want it. Let's go." So I got back on the bed. Oh, in between there, I was pooping, throwing up. See, if I had the epidural, I wouldn't have been able to go to the bathroom. I would have pooped all on that bed. But I didn't. I was able to walk, get up, go to the bathroom, throw up, poop, whatever. It was, it was worth it. It was worth the pain. so, so then at first it was a male midwife, but then another one came in. They were switching shifts. So as soon as she came in, the whole atmosphere changed. It just like got better. Like your nurses and your midwives will make all the difference. Like the energy was so positive. Everybody was so energized. I'm like, it is 6 something in the morning and y'all are energized. I was tired. I was out of like I fell asleep during my contractions. So it was crazy. So come to find out I was 9.5 finally, and we're ready to go. So lift me up. My husband was holding one leg. The nurse was holding the other. The midwife was right in the middle, of course. And yeah. So every time she said, all she told me was, whenever I have a contraction, push. So I was like, okay. So I pushed, and she was just like going around my cervix, trying to stretch me out and stuff. And yeah, so I kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Like I really thought my brain was gonna pop out of my head. I was just like, I was pushing so hard. So 45 minutes later, at 9:33, our baby made her debut to the world. So all I remember is opening my eyes and there was a baby laying on my chest. I was like, she was just thrown at me, and I was like, "It's a baby." She was like, "That's your baby." I was like, "Oh my God." So I looked at my husband, he was crying. I started crying. It was just like I felt like all the pain, all the agony, everything that I've been through in my life, everything that I was going through, my depression, with the 2 deaths I experienced, everything negative that was going on in my head, it all went away as soon as I just released. So when I let it go and just gave it to him, she came out and everything just went away. So it was the most life-changing experience ever. Like, I don't take life for granted, because knowing that I was able to create a life and bring a life to life, it just makes you just think otherwise. Like, don't take it for granted, because it's a lot of people out here that are, it's easy to make a baby, but it takes a strong person to raise a baby. And just looking online, all these babies out here not having a mother or father or neither, or parents are always turning up or going out to clubs. Like, you don't want your baby to grow up like that, so don't do it. I mean, I'm not saying don't do it, because I mean, we're all human, we all want to have fun and enjoy ourselves, but when you create a life, it should change your life. So some of the stuff that I used to do, like hanging out all the time, or turn up, whatever, it can't happen, because she's my priority, my family's my priority. And from that, my life has changed so much. Like, I don't even dwell on my past, I don't dwell on nothing negative, because when I do, I look at her and she makes all the difference. So she was born 5 pounds 13 ounces. She now weighs, she should be she, when we went to her 1 month appointment, she was 9 point, she was 9.5, so she should be 10, because she just eats all the time. Breastfeeding was a challenge at first, because I was kind of like worried, like, okay, is my milk gonna come out? Because I mean, look at me, I don't have much boobs or whatever, but I was able to make milk. She latches on fine. I'm able to produce milk, and yeah. So I mean, right now we're supplementing, but that's another topic. I'm gonna do another video of my postpartum. So I just want to talk about just the whole pregnancy overall. But that was my journey, and it's a great experience. Like, I recommend, if you are ready for kids, you have the financial stability, you have the spouse or the mate, what spouse? Let me say spouse, because it's so much better when you're married. But if you're not, then as long as you have that person that is not going to leave your side despite what happens, go for it. And, like, it will change your life. Like, people are like, oh, I ain't ready for kids, I don't want no kids, whatever. I said the same thing too. And God saw, he had different plans for me, because I really didn't think I was gonna be married or have a baby at 24 years old. I'm 25 now. My birthday was December 5th. Hey, but I was thinking like 30, 35. But he saw other plans for me, and I'm forever thankful. So yeah, you see my face. I don't have much. I guess I still have my pregnancy glow, my belly. You can see this is my little pudge. I still have a few pounds to lose and a few more to tighten up here. So I'm not perfect, but I'm went from 144 after my pregnancy, and I'm back to 130. Well, at my last appointment, I was 128, but I gained 5 pounds. So in the 130s, I can't think, but yeah. So I feel good. I look good. I'm good. Like, I just thank God every day for just give me the strength. We were created to do this. He can give us the strength. That's why the Bible says we can do all things, not some things, but all things through Him who gives us strength. And yeah, it's so beautiful. I didn't have any stitches, no tears, so I didn't have to get stitched up or anything. I came out that delivery room fine. I mean, of course, I bled. That's part of the healing process. But overall, the experience, like, the doctors were so nice. They were just so helpful. They were really there for us. Like, it was a beautiful. The whole thing was just excellent. They even talk about, like, when I go to my appointments and stuff, they still talk about how well I did. Like, it just made me feel good. Like, this is what I was. This is my time. Like, this has been my year. So I don't take anything for granted, and I'm truly blessed and highly favored. So I wanted to share my experience with you guys. I hope that you get some encouragement. And in my postpartum video that I'm about to do, I'm going to teach you things. I'm going to tell you things, excuse me, of what I've learned, what I do's and don'ts, and what our life is right now. Okay. I hope you enjoyed. Talk to you later.